Hello, BookTube. Today I'm doing the dilemmas of a book nerd tag. It was originally created by Lindsay of Lindsay's Little Library, and I'm doing this after watching Russell of Ink and Paper blog's version of the tag. So here are the prompts or questions. Well, prompts and questions. Storage. How do you store and organize your books? Except for the cookbooks, which are in the kitchen, where they do the most good, all of my books are here in my bedroom. I have at my desk, where I'm filming, 2 shelves. That's where I store shelf my writing books. I also used to store shelf my art books, but I've moved my art books to one of the 2 wall shelves, one that is over my desk, another one that's over my bed, where I've put some miscellaneous books. Right now the wall shelf over my desk is empty, and the wall shelf over my bed has miscellaneous poetry, miscellaneous fiction, and my art books. And then my bed has a headboard that has 2 shelves where I have miscellaneous fiction. And then over here I have my history shelf. I also my brother brought me a new shelf that he found that I'm thinking of using to add to the history books once I overflow the current shelf. And then I have behind me, right here, and a shelf over on the other side of my room is where I have my science fiction and fantasy collection. So there's 4 shelves I have devoted exclusively to science fiction and fantasy, which I will probably start filming that part of the library tour next week, and will probably take us quite a while to do. Question number 2. Tracking. How do you keep track of what books you read and what books you own? I recently come into the habit of logging in the books I've read over the past few years in a Word document. I'll just title it, and then by month, and then as I finish a book I will write it into the document, give it a rating, give it a short review. I started this in 2017, and I done this earlier for like a few years, and then I quit, and then I started to back up. And for keeping track of the books I own, I recently started a Word document where I have all the books I own listed. I had a similar list on paper about 10 years ago, and I discarded it when I had a massive book purge around that time. 3. Borrow. Do you lend your books out? No. Buying. How do you buy or acquire your books? I mostly buy my books either through Amazon or through Alibris. I will sometimes order books in from Barnes & Noble if I have a gift card from them. One of my aunts is rather fond of giving Barnes & Noble gift cards for Christmas. Or if I've gone to their website and I've looked at some books, and then they'll email me, "Oh, we have a super sale for you. Hurry up and buy some books." And then I will occasionally also use like Book Depository and a few other online sites. Very rarely do I go to a physical location to buy my books. There are 3 used bookstores in Waco, near where I live: Golden's Book Exchange, Bryce's Books, Half Price Books just opened a few months ago, and then there's a Barnes and Noble store and a new independent bookstore called Fabled. But the problem with going to a physical store is transportation. I do not have a car, nor do I drive, so I have to either ask my brother or sister-in-law to give me a lift, or I have to take the bus. And when I took the bus to Golden's Book Exchange in August, it was not a very pleasant trip. And that put me, do I really want to do that to go to any physical bookstore? I mean, as much fun as physically going and looking to see what they have. I also will get books from the Friends at the Library book sale. I went to the big one this November, and I go to the mini one in late May, early June every year. So, yeah, that's how I get my books. How do you respond to "how do you read so much" and other similar comments or questions? Try not to lose my temper. I mean, excuse me. Admittedly, that is a rather annoying question, because it's like, yeah, you just read. I mean, if you have a free period of time where you're doing nothing or you're wasting your time, just read. Come on. Next book. How do you choose your next book? I sometimes try to be organized. I try to have monthly TBRs, or if there's some readathon going on. There's one from last year. I think it was part of the one readathon to roll them all. They were basically doing a readathon Journey to Mordor. It's like reenacting Lord of the Rings. And I kind of wanted to get on it, so I sort of made up a TBR, and then I promptly kind of got annoyed with it. So it's a bit of wanting to be organized and having TBRs, and also whatever I want to read at any given moment. How do you travel? How do you pick which book to bring on vacation with you? What is this thing called a vacation? I don't do vacations. Annotate. Do you write in or mark up your books in any way? When I was in college, I did. But I've since fallen out, and I don't write in my books at all. New or new or backlist? Which do you prefer? Excuse me again. A mix. I like both. I like new books, discovering new authors, new works by authors I love, but I also like, collecting books that have been, out there for a few years or months, or how you define backlist. So it's a mix. I use Amazon mostly to pick up new releases, and I use Libris to pick up mostly backlist. I like both. So, final question. Sequels. Do you read books as they are released, or do you wait for an entire series to be released? Both. I will try to. So right now, I've mentioned there's 2 series I'm working on. The Khorasan Archive by Asma Zahanat Khan. Hopefully, I did not butcher her name too badly. I've read the Bloodprint, which came out about going on a year-ish ago. No, it was about 2 years ago, actually. And I've been meaning to read the Black Khan. It was a few months after I read the Bloodprint. And then I don't know if I'm going to go from the Black Khan straight to the Blue Eye or wait a few months. And there's I want to say it's The Age of Tyranny by Cameron Johnston that I read The Traitor God a few months ago, and I'm wanting to read, probably will read in December along with the Black Khan, the sequel God of Broken Things. So it's a bit of a mix. I also have the complete Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin that I've been meaning to read. There's another series by Mark T. Barnes that I bought the entire series of that I was going to binge, but I haven't yet gotten around to it. So it's a mix for me. If a series has already been released, I might pick them all up at once. And if they are in the process of being released, I will pick them up and probably read them as they go along. Although it probably would be wise if you're interested in reading a very long series to read the first few books as they come out before you commit to the whole series, because that could just be rather expensive depending how long the series is. So that was the Dilemmas of a Book Nerd tag. I will try to get a few more tags done either today or for the rest of the week, and talk to you next time, BookTube. Have a good day, evening, morning, whatever time it is. Bye-bye.